Hi, it's Juris and welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk, and today we'll take a look at Tattoo Machine. I will not name the brand, it will be a review of a tattoo machine by a brand, and this time it will be a bit different. We'll have a look at it, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and what could it potentially be. I'm not putting name to this tattoo machine because I messed up two of them and the brand was sort of don't bother making video because I guess it didn't work for me and I probably don't want any like a sort of negative thing, but still I feel like there are some good features and I would like to make a review, sort of what it could have been. Plus, this tattoo machine had one super annoying feature. I have another tattoo machine by other brand which also have that feature. I don't know why it's there, but with the annoying part I'll keep it to the end of the video. Let's look at it, what it is, what options it has, and what makes it sort of different from other brands so far that I worked with. So let's go. It is a tattoo machine that now, it's a thing that tattoo machines come with modes. So I'll switch it on. It's not switching on. Why? Because there is no battery in there. It's a tattoo machine that has separate batteries that you can charge separately. I don't really like that option. I'm just used to where you plug it in, but it's actually a good thing and it's actually the easiest way to change battery. If it dies off with time, it's the easiest and the cheapest way to change the battery itself. Battery goes on top in here and then you lock it. Bada bim, bada boom. You switch the tattoo machine on. UI is pretty intuitive. One big button to switch it on. I'll cover the brand. Machine runs. I mean, it doesn't because I messed it up. This tattoo machine has modes. Boom, double tap it, and it changes in the corner from M1 to M2 and then to M3, and arrows up and down to adjust voltage. Pretty intuitive. Nice, and it has a timer for them who uses timer. Some weird LED lights. I don't know, somebody might find it useful, but it's kind of like unnecessary flex, but if you want it, the option is there. It comes with a thicker grip and thinner grip, which is nice, feels nice in hand. I always prefer the thicker grip, it just works nicer for me. The usual voltage up, voltage down, modes. Modes is a sort of a thing of 2025, I guess. It's not a bad option. The regular M1 mode is sort of standard direct drive. M2 mode makes it 20% less powerful, so sort of if you kind of imagine this is 5mm stroke tattoo machine, which is plenty powerful, and then you take 20% off 5mm minus 20%, you get 4, so it sort of mimics 4mm stroke in theory. It is a bit softer and it's kind of nice. I did some old school like small pieces. You do lines with M1, you need to color in, pump pump, double tap M2, and you have a bit softer. And you do whatever you want to do, color shade or whatnot. And then M3 mode is the one that I really don't understand. On M3 you can change voltage, but that really doesn't change much. Then you have to push a combination of buttons and then you can adjust sort of percentage of hit, and it goes really slow down to 10% and up to 100. I didn't see much difference from 5 to 12 volts, you just adjust the speed. I would imagine that it should have more sort of power and then you just adjust speed, but it is so confusing that I don't really use that mode. So M3 I don't touch, M1, M2 nice. The slow option would be nice for the like whippy dotty shadings. The option is there, so if you feel like it, of course use it on this or this type of tattoo machine. Overall, as a tattoo machine, a regular tattoo machine works when works, feels nice in the hand, very intuitive controls, sort of UI, easy to pack and all that good stuff. Things that I'm not fan of would be, first one would be this RGB strip. Let's see, how could I change the colors? Power button and down, boom, and then a little circle starts to blink in the corner and you can adjust different colors, or you can set one where it's off or where it's like sort of changing, goes through the cycles through the different colors. For me, I think that's unnecessary. It's a weird flex and it's a bit tall tattoo machine, so if you could give me 4mm left in length just by removing this part, I would take that over this. The batteries on top I'm not a fan of, but it's not a bad thing. It's, I think, the best option if you need to change batteries. It's the cheapest one and you have separate one on a charger. I just don't like it. I'm used to the regular plug-in and charge it that way. Not a bad thing. An overall design with that RGB light is kind of like gives this cheap look, I don't know, I don't dig the design. And in my opinion, brands like these, when they have those confusing controls and different modes, they should also make promo videos of their own just to explain to people what it's meant to be, why that feature is there, because otherwise it's confusing. I have to figure it out. It's sort of like softer, faster, whatnot. And then it would be nice if they had their own videos explaining what is what and why that option is there. Now, things that I don't like, and they are really not that great. First of all, I broke the tattoo machine, and I broke two with them. First one broke after some 5-6 hours of working with it. I was tattooing gentleman's arm, blacking it out, and suddenly machine just stopped pushing cartridge. Obviously I took different tattoo machine and then looked later into it what's up, and what happened, the plunger detached from the cam where it's like holds it in. I opened the tattoo machine up, put the plunger back in place, locked it, and as I was closing it, it was felt all fine. Tried to run it, it jammed and showed error message, and that's it. It will make a sound. Error. Brand believes in their products. I contacted them, I said something went wrong, and they sent me new tattoo machine, which is cool, but I broke second one as well. Not that great. The second one I was a bit more careful to use. I was using it more like on the fake skins. That's just to see if it will work. And then when writing out script for this video, because there was a bunch of things I want to mention, and one of them, which is cool, that you can take it apart, and I did that. I took it apart. Well, basically there's your motor and your plunger, and I put it back together, tried to run it, something clicked, and I broke that one as well. First one is definitely on them, because plungers shouldn't detach when you're working. I tried to fix it. Also, when I did fix it, I noticed that you can take this part apart, and there's a motor, and there's a cam, and there's your plunger, which means that you don't have to buy separately like 3.5mm stroke machine, 4.2mm stroke machine, and 5mm stroke machine. You could technically just get one machine and then replace the cams and try them all out. And I asked the brand, I was like, oh, can you just send me the part and I can change it? They're like, no, it's easier to change the whole thing. So they did that, but it broke. So now I will look at it, why it is cool. And then I will let you know, and if the brand is watching, what was wrong with it and what could have been better in the future or in future models. Obviously, it's not meant to be taken apart. There's warranties. If something goes off, you just send it back and that they will deal with it that way. But the option is there. You can open it up, and that's a very positive thing. You can't really put it back together, so it works. Now let's quickly show the annoying feature. I'll switch it on. Power button and button down. And one more time. And there's a little speaker sort of symbol that starts to blink. And now you switch it on, and that tattoo machine beeps. Which in my opinion is super annoying. Beep, beep. It's like every time you touch it, it beeps. You sound like a cashier scanning products at the grocery store. Imagine working next to somebody and have to listen to this all day every time the machine is touched. Pretty annoying and pretty unnecessary. Let's switch it off. Oh, now it moved it but didn't have the error message. Okay, power button and down. That's for RGBs. One more time. And now we switch off the sound. Yeah, in my opinion, that you can take it apart and you have access to these parts is really great. First of all, you can clean it if something happens, and then you can sort of change cams, probably, or even a motor. And I think people who look at these type of machines, they will not buy 3 separate machines. They'll buy one and see if it works. And it would be cool if they could do, like, for example, like Inkclaw does with the machines where you can change cams. It costs like $20 or $30 extra and you get an extra cam. So basically add like 50-60 bucks to the full price of the tattoo machine, and you get all 3 stroke options and then the modes that you can adjust there and there. And I think that would be cool if they would offer that option, because no one who's looking at these tattoo machines will buy all 3 just to see if it works for them or not. Options is there. Unfortunately, I messed this up, or it did mess up. It got messed up. Well, it's not working anymore. And that would be a great option. And the other machines of this type that I have, you cannot take them apart. This one you could. Unfortunately, not so easy to put it back together. And what happened was basically this part at the push rod at the end, it snapped off. It's plasticky, which I think is not great. It would be better if it would be some sort of metal brassy type of situation, and the rod bent itself as well. You can see it's not straight anymore, and why that happened, I don't know if you can see, but it's very squared off where the plunger should go in, so it sort of goes like that, and then boom, boom, and then there's a hole where it has to get through. So when you try to put it together, if it stuck in one of the corners, you apply a little bit of pressure and it snaps. And from what I see, this rod is not the thickest ones. Other machines have them a bit thicker, a bit sturdier, and the bits are some metal type of material. For example, this one from EZ, it's with adjustable stroke, with like physically adjustable stroke. The rod is maybe same thickness, maybe a bit different shape, but when you put it back in, this part in there, it's sort of like a slope. And then I don't even have to think which way I put it. I just put it in, close it, and it slides into hole where it goes to push cartridge needle. On this one, it's more of like squared off and then the hole. And that, I believe, is where the push rod got stuck. And when I applied pressure, it just snapped, which is not cool. I think it would be awesome if they would rethink the design and make it maybe more like a slope, or maybe there's even some option to 3D print some sort of plug so they don't have to change the whole line. They can add a little sort of insert that would make it more angled, so the plunger bar would just slide into the hole where it's supposed to go instead of getting stuck in some of the corners and then snap. Unfortunate. Hopefully brand will see it and brand will consider, is that a design flaw or what is it? Yep, you can hear that it was in a corner again and was pink. In this situation, you have to be very lucky because you don't have any option to sort of wiggle it in place before you start to screw it. So, and that's, I think, a design flaw, but that could be fixed. Obviously, it's not intended for these machines to be taken apart. If you have any issues, send it to warranty. Thing happen, and it's cool that you can, oh, you heard that? It's cool that you can open it. One is to, for example, clean it. If you have some sort of cross-contamination happening, you can open it up and you can clean the whole thing in there, which you have access to. And another thing would be to service them, to have options for different like cams for different stroke length. That would be awesome, but it's not. I'm not naming the brand because they asked me not to make video after 2 machines broke. One is definitely on them. Another one, I tried to show what it's made of and it happened again. Hopefully somebody who's designing and making these machines will see this video and take it as a consideration. It's awesome that you can take apart, change parts. Not awesome that it breaks when you put it back together. A plasticky bit at the end of push bar is maybe not the best idea, because other brands have them metal looking thingy. Hopefully somebody from some brand will see this video and they'll be like, yeah, that's a valid point and we should reconsider how we design those things. Option to change cams would be really good. It would set it apart from other brands. I have 2 other tattoo machines of this type and you cannot take them apart. And this would be great for this brand to stand out. If you get this type of tattoo machine and it works for you and nothing breaks, you don't have to take it apart. You keep on working. If anything, you send it to warranty. Obviously, up to you. The idea is just in general for brands in general to see what the options are and what options could have been better. This was my opinion of a tattoo machine from a brand and what could have been better. If you have anything to chip in, then leave that in the comment section. If you are super awesome, then share the video. We have memberships now. You can check those out. Check all the links in the video description and do the usual. Press like, and if you're super awesome, then share the video. See you in the future episodes. Anyway, not a review. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.